Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going over our very first Mythic Lihuvim kill. And like normal, I'm not going to be explaining all of the mechanics and what they do, but more so how we chose to deal with them. So for fights, generally I like to start off by talking about comp. There really is no variance when it comes to like how many healers or how many DPS should I bring. This fight, everyone's doing 2 tanks, 3 healers, and then 15 DPS. So the kind of variance in comp is what you absolutely have to have is at least 4 classes that can CC that spawn. So druids and hunters are the best of this. I think hunters are way better than druids at doing this. But you need at least 4 and ideally 5 in case one messes up, which you'll see later on in the video. So there's a pretty important weak order that you need to have. So you can see here on my screen, whenever you pull a boss, everyone gets assigned a debuff. And what's important about the debuff is that it's every time it changes, it's going to be to the opposite color. So next time it changes, it's going to be blue. Flurpy is going to be yellow, etc. And what this is the push-pull mechanic, and you need one of each color in each group. So there's 5 groups of 4 players, and how we chose to deal with this was we made captains of each team, and then I made a picture of relevant for the bosses where they should always stand. So you can see like an orange group, a star group, a purple group, green, blue. And that way players should know where they're going for the push-pull mechanic. You can see like in the weak order, like this blue team is all blue, and then star, I messed up the weak order a bit, and we ended up swapping out a player like the pull before this, so I didn't see that it got messed up. But star is also all the same color. So we're going to have to change at least 1 player from each group. So we do that later on in the fight. What I will say about how to deal with the push-pull mechanic, and I think what the better strat is every time it's about to happen, a couple of seconds before, like 10 seconds before, you have the leader of each team place a world marker of where you're going to meet up. I think that makes it easier for players to really anticipate exactly where they're going to go. The downside to doing this is that if something goes wrong, let's say like you break a moat last second, you're gonna have to like quickly change the world marker. But the same kind of philosophy could be applied to just having head markers. I think just placing world markers makes it easier.
Doom, can you Discord stream?
Sorry?
Can you Discord stream? Whenever you get a chance. Yeah, you can do it next one. That's fine.
So there also is variance on how teams are handling the moat drop-offs. So what we decided to do, and I think this is what's standard, at least it was standard when we killed the fight, is you make 2 groups of 7 and you assign 4 players to what I call like the fuck off group. Just go off to the side. It doesn't really matter what they are. This is a pattern of 2 and then 3 and then 2, and then with 1 bomb you can break all 7. So each time you're clearing 14 moats. It's like the most efficient way to do it. The other way is everyone just goes off to the side of the room, or whichever side of the room that you're closest to. The issue I have with this strat is now this boss really isn't a DPS check, but doing the strat where everyone goes off to a side of the room makes this fight into a DPS check. The benefit though is if you break a moat, it's not going to be taking up somewhere valuable in the room. It's just going to be off to the side. So it's kind of non-consequential.
Dude, what color are you? Question to ask, 'cause I'm wondering, right?
He's yellow. He's yellow. He's just yellow.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny.
Sure.
What I will say about these splits is you're gonna have to kind of figure out what team to make for your own raid team. You basically want an even split, but one side's gonna have 2 healers. So the side that doesn't have 2 healers, you just need to either make sure that that particular class is really good for that, or that particular player is really good for that. So we had our Resto Shaman, which is a really good player, but Resto Shaman's also really strong because Spirit Link and Darkness. So basically every player is going to be hitting every one of their spells here, not on pull. So every DPS player is just kind of popping their shit. Healers are popping all of their shit here. And this is where the first CC will happen. So really nice to have a hunter do it because their CC is in minutes, where druids' roots are 30 seconds. So it's like less potential for it to get messed up.
More interested than I was before.
So here you're kind of just like cleaning out of this ad. You basically just want to dive for the boss spawns. So I start pulling it out at about like 20%. You want to like pull it away so it drops a shield not on the boss. It's like a slight DPS gain. Okay, Fireball, you are going to be Star for the remainder of the fight, and a Monk, you are going to be Blue. So I call it the Fireball is going to be Star for the rest of the fight, and then a Monk is going to be Blue for the rest of the fight. And you kind of make that confident call because, like I said, each time the Mythic candidate happens, it's going to be the opposite of what it was before. So it's not going to be randomized. So you can just kind of swap one player out for the other, and it's going to be good for the groups.
Where's Star?
Where's Blue?
You can kind of see the confusion, and I think this is like the downside of doing our shot is like they're asking because they've never been in those groups before, like where does Star stand and where does Blue stand. But if you had the world marker, it'd be a lot easier if you have to like change groups last second, or if you have to change groups in general.
I'm sorry, did you say Star was front right?
Yeah, it's melee.
Okay.
So one of the things about the pull mechanic is if you stand within the boss's hitbox, you'll never actually move for pull. Tank combo.
Do we normally have a speed up there that we're not anymore?
Should have been perfect, sure.
I almost died.
Yeah, so if you can, you want to have reverse for every mythic mechanic. So 2 druids can always alternate and it'll be fine. Spell mechanic. Tank combo. So this tank combo has changed since we killed it. It used to, right before you phase the boss, you'd get to 100 energy before he finished his tank combo, so it cut it short. But that's not the case anymore. So you're always guaranteed to get 3 circles here, as opposed to you used to only get 2. And like the name of the game on these ads is you want to commit at the least amount that you can. So I think we had triple convoke for it and maybe a combust. But for us, really important that you get out of here. You can see a lot of these like little ads spawn, and they will start their cast as soon as they're within a range of a player. So you want everyone to be like towards the middle of the room, and then get knocks. So for us, this is where we lust. This is where I advise that everyone lusts. Like I said, the only real DPS check now is going to be on these small ads. So really good if you have DK to mask up here. Otherwise, you just use Boomkin knocks. And then whenever one of these small ads die, it puts a mode on a player. And the issue that we're running into, which we didn't necessarily need lust to solve, but I just think it made it easier, is if you're slow killing the little ads, the boss will spawn, and then you'll get modes. To where if you lust here, you should be able to get all the ads dead, do modes, and the boss will spawn. You also drop a bunch of frames during this, at least I did. Yeah, so we did a pretty good job killing all the small ads here. That was pretty clean. We lost 1 player, but that's just damage. Circles will be the same groups as last time. Okay, Mythic mechanic. Your slots. Tank combo coming up. It's just a rinse and repeat all the mechanics that have already happened. What's really important for this fight is just being able to repeat the kind of same thing over and over again without making too many errors. The fight still is kind of forgiving when it comes to like breaking modes and things like that and missing CCs. As you'll see later, we fuck up our CCs pretty bad. I think we break them out here. No, we don't. Mythic mechanic next.
I will roll this one.
So I got pull, so I didn't have to move at all. That's pretty nice. They're pulling towards sword witness.
Aubrey, this will be your grip on the call.
Watch tank circle here, guys. So it's really important that you can hear like our hunter call that you're gonna have to grip me is that he's refreshing his CC before this ad phase starts. So once again, you are gonna get 3 circles now, but you used to only get 2 here.
Go ahead, Aubrey.
And then coming out of this, you're gonna have to CC 2 ads, which I think is where we made our first kind of really big mistake. Get out. Remember CC's here. Super important.
I'll get the knock. Del, if you
Yeah. So there's like the 2 big ads that you have to CC, and only 1 group of small ads that you have to kill. So I think what happened is what we wanted to happen was the ad to get trapped and then Shining Force it away. But what happened is the priest did Shining Force too fast. So the ad wasn't out of the binding yet, so it just triggered the binding and didn't move.
You knocked him before he went into my trap.
Yeah.
Can
you get a backup route?
Oh, her.
So I don't say we panicked, but we're trying to figure it out. So I'm calling for like a backup route. It's not happening, and a mage just freezes it, which was the right play. But then it confused our hunter.
Oh, okay. Could I freeze him?
No, he's not. That's a mage route. Oh my.
CC. It's fine. Just play around it. So I just call it for a backup CC. The ad's like in a really bad spot. The ideal for what's happening here is that you want a hunter to trap it at X, and then you have a DK like grip it away. You have a priest knock it away because X is like the last kind of cubby that you go into. And now we had this ad rooted towards the middle, which is always bad, and kind of in our pathway to X. So the other tank, I tell him to like move the boss away from the ads, and I just taunted away.
Coming up in 5.
We have really weird positions for.
Yeah. So basically, we have to adapt to like a bunch of new shit really fast. So I think this is where we mess up one of our moats because players just weren't adapting. Just do not pick that ad. Mythic mechanic coming out. It wasn't a player not adapting, it was the bomb. The player with the bomb triggered him out. So this makes it really challenging, and I think our team just played around the mistake really well. Because now push pull is going to be a different spot because of the broken moat. But we're kind of gamers.
I'm single rooting it. Don't touch.
Moats in 5.
I try to ring it here, but it's rooted, right? So it's obviously not going to work. Okay, Mythic mechanic coming up. Okay, tank combo. We're going to start moving. VCC here, guys. Watner, Loris. Yeah, so I call it to like re-CC your ads, and we kind of like do this really weird movement because of that ad spawn. Circle 1. Circle 2. Get your stack.
Reroute in the middle.
The route is just ending.
I'm gonna get it.
Okay, do not break CC as we run past.
Oh, no.
Yeah, our health is like really scary here.
Just watch. I vortex them. Just
Okay, do not break as you run past. It's fine. Yeah, so since we did do like so many backups there, I think what happened is we missed this initial route on the one spawning from the right. So I'm just like calling out for anyone to CC this ad. It's really the only way you wipe in this phase is if you fuck up CCs.
I got trap on the far.
Okay, just put on the opposite side of these ads, guys. Focus off of these ads. Your pots are back up. Look at the high ads. Okay, boss will be
Can you keep
facing
doing
towards
triangle?
orange.
I'm gonna root close one. I'm rooting
I'm
it.
gonna knock
You'll
this near
erase
one
that, right?
first.
Yeah,
Don't root it
moats
right
just get out of the group. Moats just get out of the group. Safari, roar this first set. Yeah, so after kind of like that last ad set, you just want moats to get the fuck out of the group. Just reduces like the chances of something going wrong.
Check CC.
Okay, Amont, you're gonna rally this mythic mechanic coming up. Just get out with the bombs. And just focus on this mythic mechanic. Mizaki's rally. prolific scorer.
Blue will play a little inner.
Reading it again.
Tank combo coming up.
Check CC.
Nice.
Job, guys. Fuck yeah, guys.
First, I would get the tier on my alt that I have never. Yeah. So when it came to this fight and what I thought that we really should have done better, like maybe I should have done better as a raid lead, I think I should have walked players through like how to do their CCs and exactly like I think do more hand holding when it came to the CCs. I feel like that's kind of like make or break for a lot of the players in the fight. And then I really do think for the Mythic mechanic, we should have used a world marker to signify where we're going as opposed to just head markers. I think it puts more responsibility on like the leaders of the group. But I think it would have reduced like the amount of errors that we had because it's going to be the exact same every time. Or like players know exactly where to go. For like a head marker, there could be slight variance. So I think that just took us a little bit more time than it should have. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or message me. I'll have a link to my stream in the description. I stream all of our prog. Thanks for watching.